Here come those athletes, starting out with Ella Fisher. Also was in the lead final and placed second. Annalise Van Hong.
Also was in the lead final.
Yep. Kyra Condi, Maya Madere. Adriana Kiko Clark, the winner of the lead final. Helen Gillette. Nikaya Sanders. And Melina Costanza, also in the lead final and placed third. Melina Costanza did. Isaac Leff for the men. Xander Waller. Ethan Freudenheim. Vale Everett, saw him in the lead final the other day. Hugo Hoyer. Joshua Gerhardt. I didn't want to get my Gerhardts confused there. Adam Shahar and Ben Hanna.
Yeah, a little more action on the wall at once, I would say. So definitely a better viewing experience generally, I would say.
I totally agree. Ella Fisher getting right on the wall. So the athletes did have an observation period earlier, 2 minutes per boulder to look at it and talk about it. They couldn't climb anything. They can touch the start holds and kind of chat about what they want to do. So you'll see people get on the wall a little quicker, and that's why we lose that minute of climbing time, as Ella Fisher is making really quick work of women's number one, as was Isaac Leff, but just kind of fell off there. But Ella looks like she's setting up to go to that finish, but we'll need 2 hands on to get the top.
Yeah, no problems for Ella so far. Let's see if she can figure out how to control the finish hold. Nice. Nicely
done. And this is Ella's first time in a boulder final at a championship event.
Relaxed, no pressure, no expectations, and in that case, it led to a pretty good performance. So I think that's always a nice position to be in.
You got second or third at that one, right?
Second, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that's a good performance.
Yeah, it's fun to kind of come into a final in the last place, having never done that before. Like, she can't do any worse than 8th, and even that, I guess, will be one of her best performances at this level for boulders. It can be hard to be patient and save some energy.
Yep, and with that, Isaac is back up on the boulder. See if he can execute a little better at the end of this on this attempt.
Will probably be his last try.
Looks like he's in a pretty good position, just needs to get into that little blocked crimp and make sure his hips are high enough to get to a better part of the finish hold this time. Plenty of time, doesn't need to rush it. Oh man, kind of came in in full force, I would say.
Yeah, she's from the Bay Area, and I am as well, and I kind of grew up climbing alongside her on the youth scene there, and she's been one to look out for quite a long time, always super strong. So it's cool to see her be so successful in her first few years of competing on the elite circuit.
For sure, and I would say I was living in Sacramento at the time, and I remember hearing about her a lot from people, and I'm like, wait till she can do elite, and she has definitely proven to be quite the contender.
Xander making that work on the left side as well.
Yep, just needs to get 2 hands. Nice. Both of them just need to get 2 hands, and it looks like Xander just did it, as did Annalise, and look at that. On to the next group of climbers now.
Right up her wheelhouse. Super strong as well.
Most definitely. So Kyra Condi on the right, Ethan Freudenheim on the left. This is also Ethan's first boulder final at a elite championship event, so always really exciting when that happens.
Also been on the scene a long time, does a lot of speed climbing as well.
I was going to say he was also in the speed final and got eerily close last year at Nationals to making the final. So nice to see him have that progression here and already start with a top. And we are also now seeing another top for Kyra Condi. Yeah, that we'll have to hope that there's some separation later on. Another quick replay of Ethan Sen, just out of the lead final the other day. So really psyched to see her make the boulder final. Also Austin native.
Yeah.
Hopefully she has some extra people in the crowd here for her. Both athletes already quickly into their attempts of women and men's number one. Bale setting up, just needs to get 2 hands on the finish here. Great use of that hip flexibility.
Just wants to be patient up there, make sure he finds the right position before he matches. He's doing a good job not rushing it. Oh, there we go.
Yep. And another top. Now it's interesting because we have not seen a lot of tops this weekend, actually, but this round's already off to more of a topping start.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I was going to say, I will say that it does look like the boulders do get progressively harder throughout the round, so we'll have to see how that goes as Maya's just trying to figure out what body position she wants to be in order to match this finish, because she definitely does not want to drop it and should be capable of finding a good position.
Yeah.
And I think that face says it all. So now we will have 4 people on the wall, 2 men, 2 women, and we will continue that way until we are done with boulders. Already more tops than we've seen this weekend in general, I feel like, in the first 4 athletes on the first boulders.
Definitely looks harder, though. I think the second and third boulders look like they'll probably take some more attempts, but we'll see.
And we're getting that first look of Ella Fisher on women's number 2 right now, as Isaac Leff is quickly making his way through men's number 2. Now, this move, when I was talking to the head route setter, Jeremy Ho, he was saying that they were going to jump off the 10 into like a palm press on that purple hold, but Isaac has been able to get through it statically, so it'll be interesting to see if we see a more dynamic iteration there.
Flash from Adrian as well.
A top for Isaac and another top for Adrian Akiko Clark. Oh, and again,
Akiko coming down.
I was told more of a dynamic paddle to this finish, and I'm loving Ella Fisher's way of the feet first knee bar. Hugo, another athlete that has been in the final many a times, missed out on semis at Nationals, which was kind of a shock, but he was second in 2023 at Nationals and won team trials last year, so the defending champion of team trials. So we'll see if he can make his way back up onto that podium as he tries to finish his first boulder of the round here.
Flashed all the boulders at team trials last year. That was an incredible performance. Ear damage.
Wow.
Only for competitions.
I didn't even know that was a setting. So we saw Hugo put a little bit of chalk on his knees. There is kind of that knee bar scum up there, and so with the heat and the humidity here, he also the defending
team trials champion from last year.
Exactly. And we have Joshua Gerhardt on men's number 1, his first time in a boulder final at a championship event. And when I say championship event, I'm referring to both national team trials and Yeti national championships. Those are the 2 big championship events that USA Climbing hosts throughout the year.
He is looking solid in the compression there. Let's see if Annalise can find that knee bar that Ella found earlier.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. And I'm also interested to see
this jump.
If Xander does the jump or if he tries to go with the more static method.
I wonder if they will have talked about kind of climbing down onto the purple thing and then back up. Like Isaac did. Helen topping that first boulder as well.
Maybe a little more risky, right, to do a dynamic movement, but it doesn't look too crazy, so I think he'll be able to get it done that way.
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely that that's what the climbers will read, and Isaac maybe knew that he was sort of going, kind of finding a different way, maybe from what the setters intended when he climbs down onto the purple one.
Yeah, and it's always different for everyone, right? Like something might just feel a little more comfortable for someone, so they kind of lean into that beta. Absolutely. See how Annalise approaches this final move.
This jump is probably what the setters were intending. Super powerful.
Woo!
Wow.
Oh man. Oh, wow.
So close.
Yeah, Ella.
That's definitely looking, I think, physically a much harder version than what Ella did, but Ella was super smart, using her technique to her advantage there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
There we go. Jump from Xander.
Nice execution there from Xander Waller. Another top.
It's hard to gauge how long to rest for, because I know for myself I was going a little too fast with my attempts at this angle. It's getting tired more quickly than I thought. That's
a very good point about the angles specifically. And when I was talking to the head route setter Jeremy Ho earlier, he was saying that this boulder specifically was supposed to be the more aggressive one in the round. And I feel like the angle does call for a more aggressive boulder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man, that has to be so tiring, too. So you want to spend, like, less time. And so the fact that she's paused on the red, I feel like is kind of...
I think we'll see a lot of competitors try what Annalise is trying at the end here. I think it's the more, like, kind of intuitive, natural way to move through that sequence.
Replay really quickly of Joshua Gerhardt's very quick send of men's number 1. Again, this is his first time in a final at a Boulder national team trials.
No better way to start
right?
An elite final, I don't think. If you're able to kind of bring it back on the third, fourth boulder, but it can be a lot harder going into the third and fourth boulder knowing that you have kind of that extra pressure, having maybe not been super satisfied with your climbing on the first few. So I think that's something that everyone practices, is kind of, regardless of how the boulders are going, to be able to kind of move on. And if the first and second boulder haven't gone how you want, to be able to be like, it's not, that's in the past, and I'm focusing on the moves in front of me, doing one move at a time. So like, I think that's a skill that comes with competing for sure.
Well said. And right now we're getting our first look at Adam Shahar on men's number 1, just dropping the top, as Nikaya Sanders takes a moment to reset before bringing that other hand on for a top.
A flash train continues there. But second boulder is definitely proving to be trickier for everyone, I think. Oh, down on that thing.
I agree.
Not easy to hold. Adam had kind of a different method over there, bringing his left hand super close in last time. He's just going to bump that time. Nice. Does look a little more secure if you can keep that left hand on.
Nicely done. A top there on your far left, and now just the front of your screen in the nice sun from Austin. Kyra Condi on women's number 2 trying to figure out this upper section. Again, we saw Ella Fisher really find a great way to get through the top section. See what Kyra is going to do here. I would guess she tries a more dynamic method.
Wow.
And that's exactly what Jay Ho was saying.
Nice.
Was the kind of
super dynamic
idea.
Method, yeah.
And we see Ethan Freudenheim doing the same thing that we saw Isaac Leff do.
I wonder if they talked about it a little bit.
They might have.
Super psyched.
So thank you for everything you do. And if one of our comps come to your area, please volunteer, because we could always use more help. Kyra back on the wall. Was pretty close on that last attempt, so see if she can execute a little bit better.
Yeah, much more dynamic method than Ella, but if you time it right, it does seem like it definitely works.
Quick look at Nikaya Sanders' send of women's number 1, easily done. And another look at the send from Adam Shahar.
Adam's been on a tear recently, doing a lot of super hard outdoor boulders, so it's cool to see him kind of showing up to compete and so strong here as well.
100%. And Ethan Freudenheim with his top of men's number 2. Our highest qualified athletes to the final. So this will be the last time you see boulder number 1. And we'll soon get our first look at boulder number 3 after this round of 4 minutes. Vale Everett on men's number 2 right now.
Melina leading the way in all the rounds of this competition so far on the bouldering side.
And I was going to say flying through this boulder specifically.
Boom.
Nicely done. Another flash of women's number 1. No surprise there, really.
Got Maya in the full sun there. It's luckily pretty cool in the gym here in Austin, but it's been real warm outside.
And Ben Hanna just needing to get that second hand on. And another top on men's number 1. So we will say goodbye to those boulders. And all the focus on Maya Madare. See if she can figure out this final part of boulder number 2. It is. Oh, that's nice.
Wow. Yeah, Ella climbed that thing really well.
I know. I almost
I want to see a replay of that
section. Me too.
Section.
I'm like, what exactly? Because she was up there so fast. I can't remember exactly what she did. I know she was going feet first.
Oh, nice. Vale making that method work.
I was going to say, great control of that swing there.
You get a lot more time to kind of visualize, to think about sequences, and kind of be a little bit more strategic in terms of, are you going to save some energy? Are you gonna just kind of go for it.
Exactly, and you can even talk about it after the observation, right? When you go back into ISO and continue those conversations until you go out.
I know personally, the visualization and having that extra time to kind of think about the boulders and imagine myself being successful on the moves is really important. Just a slightly different mental game, I would say.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
He'll probably feel a little pressure getting onto this one, knowing that people have done the first one. He wasn't quite able to make that one work, so.
They can talk about those boulders. It wouldn't make sense to talk about the ones other people haven't been on. So once the boulders have been climbed by everyone, often they do kind of chit-chat in the back about, oh, what did you do here? Did you send? Where'd you get to? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, a lot of people like to just kind of ask, how did you get through this section? They were confused about a specific part of the boulder. They'll ask some questions there, but kind of depends on the round, I would say. Sometimes it's pretty quiet back there. Everyone just kind of getting in the zone, trying to get their head ready for the next one.
I was going to say...
That was nice work by Adrian getting through this section.
It was, and I feel like this is exactly what Ella did. So we don't even need that replay. Although Ella did get that knee scum, but Adrian Akiko Clark finding really nice beta to get through. It's subtly different from what Ella did.
Yeah, absolutely. Making that look pretty easy as well.
Again, just doing a really good job of using the footwork to get through that dynamic movement and avoiding having to use all that energy. It was just very smart.
Nice work by Hugo there. That you can do to set yourself up really well for that finish section, and if you're ending up jumping for it, it's women's boulder, which was very similar to the first men's boulder, had this big yellow volume, and it was so slippery. I felt like I was doing everything perfectly, technically, to stand on it, and I was just watching my foot just move inch by inch by inch.
It'll be likely that the athletes kind of are falling / throwing themselves into that number 10 zone hold.
Yeah.
Because you're just never really in a sure-footed position.
Yeah.
And with the volume specifically, you can see how slippery it is and how gravelly this whole thing. Oh, he's looking to bypass to the 25 top.
Wow, that's a ways away.
It is.
Wow.
Oh, that was kind of fun. I like the creativity. Yeah. A nice look at women's number 3 with Ella Fisher. It's not super slow as a slab. It's got a little bit of jumping and then kind of followed by some slower movement, which I kind of like when it has that diversity just within one boulder.
Both boulders looking really tricky, kind of complex. Visually, I think at first glance, it's really hard to kind of understand the setter's intentions and see, what the intended sequences are. It's they both seem like those boulders you kind of just get on and hope that your intuition kind of leads you in the right direction.
Another look at Adrian Akiko Clark's send of women's number 2, only the second send of the competition, with Ella Fisher being the first athlete. These two athletes actually both with 2 flashes so far. And another look at Hugo Hoyer's send of men's number 2. We've seen this one done quite a few times. Helen Gillette on women's number 2, looking at it for her first attempts. Ooh, good save there.
Nice.
I like this first coordination move.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome coordination move.
Yeah, it's not too crazy difficult. It's kind of subtle, but you do have to have the coordination.
Yeah, not super far, but the positioning needs to be really solid.
Nice.
It's 2 flashes for Josh. He'll be super psyched with that.
Yeah, he's off to a great start in this round.
His final. Helen, I'm excited to see what she does here. I think this is one that I would imagine would suit her pretty well if she's able to read that middle section the way the other girls have. Nice.
And that's what it is, right? It's committing to the match on the undercling to set yourself up to do a more static finish here.
Mm-hmm. It seems like if you can get your hands on the red one without too much swing, you set yourself up pretty well to finish that in sequence.
And another top and flash for Helen Gillette. So halfway through the competition for her and already off to a really great start as Annalise Van Hong tries to figure out.
Yeah, also kind of looks like one where you almost fall into the end position. Oh, Xander.
Honestly, is blending into the volume. Is also one of those holds that is only a slippery surface hold. So not only is the volume slippery, but that next hold up higher has no texture that he's about to, well, and see, he's choosing not to stand on it at the moment.
Yeah.
Now he has to, yeah. It almost, you can't really see it. But he's looking really good. We didn't really see Isaac get over here.
In general, moving in the right direction, making progress on that boulder.
Exactly. See if Annalise Van Hong can figure out, especially like it's kind of around a little corner.
Yeah, it looks like you have to commit a lot to get over this left foot. You probably want to, intuitively want to just hang on to this first one, but
that looked better. It looked like she kind of got that swing a little bit more under control, or like kind of found that momentum level that she needs. See what Xander does here if he changes up his beta.
He's already got a different hand sequence. Oh, no, back to how his hands were earlier.
Yeah, I was curious about that, if he was going to stay up there.
Yeah.
Honestly, with how slippery they've said the volume's comfortable there.
That's about how a lot of us looked in some of the earlier rounds.
This third boulder for the women proving to be, oh gosh, she is so close.
Boulders have gotten harder as the round has progressed so far. We're seeing fewer and fewer tops, particularly on the women's side for now.
I agree. See if Xander can figure out what he needs to do here. Kind of tricky because
he's looking at going straight up.
Previously he tried to bump his hand up too. That probably is
maybe.
I was gonna say placard, so he still has no points on that boulder.
Yeah, no one got points on that one, so on either of these third boulders so far.
Another look at Joshua Gerhardt's flash and send of men's number 2, and Helen Gillette's flash and send of women's number 2. Too much coordination, I feel like he's not a huge fan of, but this level is kind of perfect.
It seems fairly straightforward in that you're not going to be like super confused in terms of the methods, and I think that makes it a little bit more approachable, or like easier to come at the boulder with confidence when that is the case. So
totally.
I think he'll deal with that well.
And already about to make his way through it. Not able to
maybe
hold
just
that swing there
and move a little bit.
Yeah.
Taking a second more to position himself.
I feel like Nikaya is another one who will figure out a nice way to get into this in a more controlled manner, as she's doing it right now. Nice. And you know, one of the shorter competitors in this competition, as you see, she was a little more stretched out on those movements, just 5'2" with a +3 wingspan. Previously, we saw Adrian up here, who is 5'6". So that's a very Nikaya way of finishing a boulder too.
Extremely flexible. Nice work from Adam there.
That has not seen too much progress where Ethan Freudenheim is, as Kyra Condi tries to figure out how to get around this first jump.
Seems to be struggling sort of in the same way as Annalise was, just trying to get over to the left a little bit.
Every one of these men eyeing up the finish hold, seeing if they can skip the whole boulder. We'll see if Ethan can figure out how to do it.
To be honest, if anyone could, I might put my money on Ethan.
I would agree.
In terms of skipping that boulder there.
I definitely.
Powerful athlete.
I support
Kyra
that.
Getting really close.
So really nice transition from speed to boulder. I think those two disciplines can work off one another really well.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you can kind of see she has to come around the corner, which definitely makes it really tricky, I think, in the hips to position yourself a little bit.
Nice. There we go. Finally getting some more moves in on women's number 3.
First view at the second part of the boulder.
This is nice, too, because I feel like this is a slab climb that Kyra would like a little bit more than others. I feel like that's not always the case.
It seems kind of like a physical slab a little bit, like a lot of work in the hands.
Nothing too crazy for her back. Occasionally, the boulders can be, on this angle specifically, not her favorite body positions, but I think this one, I think she wouldn't hate it.
And figuring out how to make the sequences work for her.
I 100% agree with that. See if Ethan can figure out a way to get to this finish hold without...
Maybe he'll go for the top again, last-ditch effort. No, taking his time. Nice.
Yep.
See him making some progress there.
I agree. Quick look at Nikaya Sanders' top.
Nice.
So much flexibility there.
Yeah, did a good job of kind of staying in the discomfort and kind of refusing to let go there for that last bit.
She's really good at that, as Adam Shahar.
So I'm excited to see what he does there.
Me too, and Melina is already off on women's number 2, halfway through the boulder, climbing right in the sun.
Nice.
Setting up nicely to go into that red hold. Now, she didn't match the blue hold first, but I was going to say, I think she can, because I think she could kind of keep the tension with the feet. Now just has to match. And another flash for Melina Costanza.
I think all the athletes who have done it have flashed it.
If you got a chance to watch Yeti Nationals, he was the Boulder National Champion. And Ben Hanna quickly into men's number 2, going for that more dynamic approach. Oh, just catches it a little bit
low,
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost feel like that palm was a little more straight on, too. More movement on that boulder from Kyra Condi.
I'm interested to see Vale here, actually.
Yeah. Gosh, men's number 2 is so quick.
Oh, I'm wondering if Vale hasn't made some moves. We heard
I'm sure he'll get back up there.
He will have been the first person to do that. So
yeah, sounds like he just touched it. I'm not seeing any points awarded, but I feel like that's a good confidence booster with plenty of time left on the clock done, or at least get control of the zone.
All right, let's see what he did. Yeah, it looks like a super uncomfortable position.
Oh, so close.
Nice, yeah, jumping kind of from a pretty low position.
Which is when I was looking at it earlier, I was like, I feel like that's kind of what you're going to want to do because you're so uncomfortable. Surprised that Ben's having trouble with this finishing move.
Yeah,
right?
but
just hasn't found the right.
Timing is a little off, position's a little off. It's pretty easy to kind of not do it, obviously. So.
Which kind of is comps, right? Like,
absolutely.
I mean, especially when you have only 4 minutes of climbing time and, you're trying something for the first time. And also, remember, these athletes have also climbed 5 boulders in the semifinal round this morning. So it's a big ask.
Yeah.
Granted, y'all are very conditioned for it. Oh, yeah, 4 boulders in the semifinal round. Excuse me.
4 boulders, but the full warm-up as well definitely takes quite a bit out of you. Nice, good work from Ben.
I was going to say the relief there, because he knows from the crowd that, and from the athletes coming back so quickly, that he needed to do that boulder, so in order to stay in the running for the podium here.
For now, it's really coming down to attempts with the men. I think they're not separated by very many points, so it'll be really interesting to see if anyone can make the 3rd and then 4th boulder work.
Yeah, that 3rd boulder is going to be a game changer.
A game changer.
Is always more information to you that, things are getting done, right? Mm-hmm. Our first look at women's number 4 with Ella Fisher quickly onto it. Ooh, big jump there.
Isaac Leff as well, getting started on boulder 4. I'm super curious to see if the climbers end up going right hand into this pocket or left hand.
I mean, I have a little insider info from Jeremy Ho, the head setter. He was saying right hand, and you kind of spin around after you get the right hand. Yeah, I think that's correct, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if they do it that way or if they end up doing it another way. And Hugo Hoyer in a really good position to possibly be the first one into the zone there. From the crowd, I can hear it sounds like he might have done it as we're watching Ella Fisher with her attempt on women's number 4 and getting close to a top.
This is a huge moment for Hugo. Hugo, one of the only athletes to not do the first boulder.
So, yeah, really
being the
needs
first,
this.
Yeah, being the first one to get some scoring points here is super valuable for him.
This finish does seem really difficult, though, kind of having to slingshot your way up to that finish hold. And Chloe and I were talking earlier about, kind of how slippery the volumes have been at this competition.
True. I think I heard that all of the volumes they've been using are made in-house by Mesa Rim.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Another look at Ella Fisher on women's number 4. This will be her last boulder of the competition. Nicely into that jump.
Isaac sticks the pocket, too.
Yep. Second time we've seen Ella in a knee bar in this competition. Really made quick work of women's number 2, which was so impressive. And she's going to be setting up for this finish hold now. Pretty powerful. Oh, man. Here, or if it would be better to go with 1. And J-Ho was mentioning that probably easier to control with the 1 just because that finish hold with that much momentum kind of hard to stop
for sure
afterwards. So we'll see if she continues to do that method.
I feel like the more that the athletes can really get their center of mass under where they're engaging on that finish hold is really going to kill their swing and give them good stick on the finish hold as well.
I totally agree. Adrian Akiko Clark up into the 10 zone on women's number 3. We've only really seen Kyra Condi here earlier, but Adrian looking really cool, calm, and collected. I will say that is one of her strengths that I've noticed a lot recently. She does a really good job of being patient on the wall, not just in the boulder discipline, but also the lead discipline. And I think that's been serving her well. Now she is going to have to do a more committing move here, kind of throw over with the foot. Oh, wow. Even she's surprised with that top. Adrian Akiko Clark came to play this week, already won the lead competition, so looking to try to also win this one.
Here we go. We got Hugo trying some different beta here. This might just work.
Brilliant.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. And like you were saying, Charlie, of all the men in this competition right now, he needs that top because he did not do number 1. You know, it's funny because like Hugo is quite a young competitor still, but he has so much experience under his belt, not just from the youth side, but another one of those athletes that came into the elite side of competition and really just exploded on the scene with like early podium finishes in both disciplines. So sounds like we have a little blood on the scene, so we'll have to deal with that. But here's another look at Adrian Akiko Clark's incredible send of women's number 3. I personally just love the shock on her own face. And then some nice problem solving here by Hugo Hoyer, just figuring out another method, a more secure method to get to the top of men's number 3. And we are back to the climbing. Joshua Gerhardt getting ready to go on men's number 3, having a great competition so far. This is his first final at a championship event in the boulder discipline. So he is coming out and really getting his money's worth of this final, right?
Yeah, not to be biased, but Josh was on the Momentum team, which is the youth team that I coach in Utah. He aged out last year, I believe. And so it's super exciting to see him finding some success at this stage. I know he's been working hard for a long time. And, it's really cool to see it all come together for him.
Yeah, that is awesome when that happens. Wow, Xander Waller quickly into that toe hook here. You can't see because of the sun, but that clear hold has some googly eyes inside of it, just for fun. So this is kind of this 360. You're going to match facing the way he is and then kind of come out of it. Or I guess you're going to turn around and match and move at the same time and then swing over is what was intended, but we'll see if it works. Yeah, you can see it, right?
Wow, this move looks crazy.
I know, right? Annalise Van Hong setting up for the end of women's 4. See if she can figure out how to get on to that finish hold in a secure way. Yeah, I think just the one hand over, I think, is definitely going to be way more secure.
Yeah, I feel like if you go with one hand, you can hit the finish hold pretty close. But if you're going to go with 2 hands, you almost need to overshoot it a bit.
Helen Gillette trying to work her way around this corner here. We've seen it done a couple of times. 1 top on this boulder so far from Adrian Akiko Clark. Nicely into that first hold to set up to try to get over in the least aggressive manner possible is definitely the goal, and she does a great job there of making that happen. Always fun to watch Helen climb. I feel like she's a very graceful style of climbing. Powerful, but also graceful.
For sure, yeah.
Annalise back up on her final boulder of the competition here. See if she can reset and figure out how to get to that finish hold. And we're back to Helen also getting ready to set up to get over to that finish hold. It's definitely possible, and she probably heard the screams about Adrian too. Man, Annalise so close. Such an awkward position.
One of the biggest aspects of comp climbing is being able to manage your time and stay calm and not just get right back on the wall. Xander's putting on a clinic for that right now.
Exactly, and it is so hard with all that adrenaline pumping, right?
Yeah, when you think you need to do something, it's so easy to be like, okay, I need to just get back on and do what I need to do. But you'll see with a lot of the most experienced athletes that they know when they can do something and that it's worth it for them to take that rest, get set, and then do it.
Oh, try to do like a ghost match in that pocket there. Oof. Annalise setting up for that finish again. See if she can do it this time. Oh, that was as close as you can get. Same with Helen, getting very close. And Ethan is on the wall.
Just a foot slip. He's got that.
Yeah, for sure. I I think Kyra will like this boulder. I think this is probably the one that maybe suits her the best.
Yeah, I think so too. I know she's been doing a lot of board climbing lately, and so I feel like there's a chance she's just going to eat that left-hand crimp before the finish hold.
Yeah, I agree. And it's interesting because, like, I'm pretty sure, is she the first one to use that other hold?
I think so. Everyone else has been just dynoing straight across.
And when Ella did that earlier, I was like, whoa, I was not expecting that because I thought they were going to use the other hold, and that's what I was kind of told was the intention. So already making quick work of the opening moves here. Let's see if she can end this boulder. Setting up nicely to go a little more Oh! And the hand popping off at the last minute. And Nikaya Sanders already into the 10 here on women's number 3. No surprise there. Ooh, little slip though. And that blue hold that she had for a foot is all the slippery texture. So those are never fun to stand on. Oh, he's going to set it. We've seen this tried a couple times, but nobody's gotten that close. But then if you never get any points, that's the risk, right?
Really interesting amount of like decision making for the athletes, because they I'm sure everyone thought like, oh, maybe I can like just skip and go straight to the top, but if you spend all your time doing that, you maybe miss out on a potential 10, or from what we saw with Hugo, once he got that 10, he got the top. So.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a game of like strategy too, right? It's always, you don't want to make the wrong decision, and you only have 4 minutes. Nikaya in a really nice position. Now, I don't know if getting the foot out makes it a little weird. It looks like it does make it a little weird, but she's able to make it happen.
Let's go.
That is an amazing moment. We're going to have to see a replay of that later. That was fun. Kyra Conde back up on women's number 4. Let's see if she can hold on to the finish this time. Oh, so close. You get the finish hold, it kind of brings you up to like fall into the blocked hold. Ethan having more trouble on this than I thought. Honestly, I think it's just this pocket into the pocket than I would have thought.
Getting into that pocket looks like just a super accurate move, and there's kind of like 2 ways to go around that. You can be super strong and like ISO the move as much as possible, or you can try and use a little bit more of your hip momentum and really find good timing to find the pocket. Looks like Ethan's kind of opting for the former, but I wonder if he tried to swing his hips a little more, if he couldn't snipe that pocket.
Oh! Method, I think that she would have done the number 2 boulder and might have put her in a different position, but otherwise I think she climbed really well in this round and really good adjustments, and gosh, so close. That's always tough to drop a finish multiple times. Another look at the send here from Nikaya Sanders. So cool. Wow, just getting it done. Kind of skipping that last hold, but then I do think it makes it that much sweeter when it comes. And what do they say? Anything worth having requires hard work, right?
For sure.
Vale always gets on the wall so quick, whether it's boulder or lead. He is just out there and on it. And he just did that pull through campus method without the toe hook, and that's exactly what I was told was the method here with that campus paddle.
Yeah, that looked good. I feel like for a first try, that's great. I feel like he's got this maybe.
And I was going to say, this kind of movement I feel like is high in his skill set specifically.
True.
Ben looking really good on men's number 3 right now, looking more comfortable than most of the men we've seen here. And Melina already firing through on women's number 3. Another athlete who has just been on fire in general in the last couple of years in these competitions.
Oh, wow.
I mean, let's give her a hard one.
Yeah, so easy for Melina. It's so sick.
She is a difficult competitor to beat. She is so on, and when she's on, I feel like it's really hard to catch her. See if Vale can make this happen. He's got the right idea. That first attempt, I think, was a bit better.
Here we got Ben on number 3.
Looking pretty comfortable in that stance again. Just needs to figure out how to get out of it. That's hard sometimes, right? On the slab when you do find a comfortable position.
It's so easy to get into a spot where you don't trust either of your feet and you're gripped to death in both of your hands. And oh man, that So close. Yeah, I think in the qualifiers she said that while she was doing the dual tex hand jam boulder, she like started feeling some pain and her pinky swelled up super bad, bruised overnight. But I talked to her this morning in ISO and she said that it doesn't hurt to crimp, and so she thinks it's not a pulley, it's probably just...
Which is great.
Yeah, something that maybe is leaving a bit of a mark but not actually affecting her climbing too much.
Yeah.
Oh! Wow.
Vale trying to do a repeat of nationals here.
He is.
don't rush it though.
You got this, dude. Come on, Vale.
Needs to stay a little calm here. Oh, I don't know if he might have enough time.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it. It looks like he's going to walk away as Maya Madera sets up for this final move. Let's see if she can make it happen. Oh, it's so close.
Wow, we got so much action right now.
Seriously, I feel like I won't be able to talk tomorrow. Now for Ben, honestly, if he can get to the 10, I think he could possibly finish in time, but even if not, the 10 is important. And, you know, Maya has had a few buzzer beaters in her past, actually, in team trials not too long ago. Just a little too fatigued.
Benny, come on, bud.
Oh, yes.
Come on, dude, go get some.
Oh. And Melina Costanza, son of women's number 3. Probably the easiest we've seen it done, able to keep that right foot on, didn't even have to kind of commit to that white foot. Vale Everett getting so close to topping men's number 4. Only climber so far to get past this 10 zone hold. And then Maya just dropping the top, looked so controlled with like one hand for a second and then not able to get, as Hugo Hoyer gets ready to jump on men's number 4. And you were talking about how you think Hugo might do really well on this boulder specifically.
Yeah, I think so. If he can get through this pocket sequence with one hand onto the 10 zone, I think this paddle is going to fit him really nicely.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he kind of goes with that foot first method like Xander did, or do what Vale did and just campus through. Wow, that campus, Vale made it look really easy.
He did.
Adrian Akiko Clark setting up for the jump here. Some athletes have jumped all the way over. It looks like that's what she's going to do, but you can also do it with stopping on that middle volume hold as well. No one has topped this boulder yet. That last move proving to be quite hard to control. I could definitely see her being able to do it. Also, in general, she's taken not too many attempts on a lot of these boulders tonight. Flashed the first 2 and did the third one on her 3rd try, so might be a little fresher than some of the other athletes we've seen here.
Oh, wow.
A little slip there. I'm actually surprised she looked a little uncomfortable. Looks like it gives you a bit better of a stance there, so we'll have to see if Adrian adjusts in that way.
Yeah, I feel like both of these final boulders really come down to one hold. For the boys, it's this pocket, and for the girls, it's that crimp before the finish hold. And I think for the athletes who feel strong on those holds,
they're going to feel good.
They're going to feel good.
It'll be to Hugo's advantage to definitely spend a little more time on the mats resting, and he'll know that just with his experience in climbing competitions and being so successful in the past that he might need to rest up a little bit more there, as we see Adrian's already kind of like getting ready, or she's halfway through the boulder again already. See if she can find a better body position to set up for the finish. It looks like she already kind of has. It doesn't. I was going to say that position will make this move a little more awkward, but good switch there. Now needs to get her lower body out left again. Nice to really see just how bad that hold is. Oh! Honestly,
that was pretty good.
I actually liked that. I thought that maybe out left the way Kyra did it slowed it down a bit better, but that actually looked even slower.
Clearly.
I know.
Winning the lead.
Exactly. And again, she did flash the first 2 boulders, only
That's
3
true.
attempts on the 3rd one, which was a slab. So she probably is a little fresher than you would generally be here, right? Hugo on the left side of your screen trying to get out of that pocket section. And Adrian back up at the top of this boulder. Really running down the clock here which is not great for having to kind of go slower on this finish. We'll see if she can make it happen. Just a little too rushed with the time, but really great attempts there from Adriana Kiko-Clark.
Yeah, I know Helen's been spending a bunch of time in Bishop lately, so she might just love that little dip crimp
She
at the top.
probably will. Joshua Gerhardt quickly on a men's number 4, his last boulder of the round as well, having a stellar first boulder final. Ooh, oh my gosh, that is so difficult.
Wow.
Ouch.
My nemesis in comp climbing, but
Helen Gillette getting back on women's number 4, trying to figure it out which way the coordination is going to work best for her on this boulder specifically.
I agree, yeah.
And again,
Nice,
you see
there we go.
it's still like a somewhat controlled version of coordination, right?
But that time it looked like she was more ready to kick the foot. She got
Exactly.
a little bit higher in the shoulders. It all looked great.
Wow. And honestly, I feel like going that way was a little more difficult. But again, look at how comfortable she is on that crimp. Let's see if she can finish this off. Oh, through the foot nicely, though. Joshua Gerhardt getting into this campus. Let's see if he can get... Oh.
Yeah, they have a super cool dynamic. I think it's pretty rare in sports to have a sibling that close in age and to both be competing at such a high level. I feel like it's really cool. They push each other a lot. Of course, they're going to be competitive with each other, but yeah, they have a great relationship.
It is cool. Let's see if Helen can figure this.
Oh yeah,
Oh, and we're going to get our first top of women's number 4. Now,
go.
Helen did not top number 3, so that's big for her, as both Melina Costanza, Adrian Clark, and Nikaya Sanders already had 3 boulders top, so that's huge for her.
Oh, nice, Josh. Come on, bud.
Ooh, that's so hard with that hold blocking. Definitely needs to commit to a campus.
Here we go.
Here, let's see if he can do it. And as we saw Vail earlier, like, it's a tricky swing.
Get a good match and be able to still explode out of that position over.
I totally agree. Another look at Helen Gillette on women's number 2. That wasn't her send, but she did, or women's number 4. She did send. Also another look at Joshua Gerhardt on men's number 4. Both climbers done with the competition now. Joshua Gerhardt is now in provisional first, and here's that top with Helen Gillette really nicely controlling that finish hold.
Yeah, you know, Adam has maybe some of the most insane hand strength and hand power of anyone I've ever met. Very impressive.
Very impressive, yeah. Nikaya Sanders trying to figure out how she wants to approach that middle part of the... Oh, my gosh.
I know.
Oh, wow. That move might feel pretty far for him. It honestly could be a good idea to go feet first, kind of like we saw Xander do earlier. Nikaya figuring out a method that works for her to get through that middle section of the boulder. You know, I could see her liking this last move as well because her shoulders are so strong and have so much mobility.
Yeah.
And this is a very shouldery finish move. And she does have so much body control as well. You do see her right shoulder is heavily taped, though. Oh. Little pop off there of the crimp. And Adam Shahar back on men's number 4. See how he changes his method if he does at all. Oh, there we go. Easy.
Come on, Adam.
Oh. It is hard to know sometimes with adrenaline and whatnot.
I know. And it's hard to, like, yeah, he's on his last boulder. Obviously, he wants to...
And there's a lot on the line here, right? You're trying to make the national team, and that's not just from this competition, but also from Yeti Nationals, those scores combined. So I know he did well at Nationals, but was a little disappointed with that result. So being in 7th place and just missing out on the finals. So he'll definitely want to... doing well on those World Cups this last season, so to get a chance at those again would be really great for him to gain more experience.
He made 2 semis in a row.
Yep, it was 7th, right?
Yeah,
at the,
7th
in Prague. Yeah.
Yep.
So just out of finals. It's so hard when you drop the top, especially. It's hard not to rush things.
Yeah.
And one who, like, it'll be really cool with those results, likely to make the team to possibly get some World Cup starts. But we are watching Melina Costanza quickly make number 4 for the women, another easy boulder for her. She has a flash the first 2 boulders and third try for that number 3 boulder, so we'll see if she can get a flash here. Oh man, gosh. So really the slab climb, the only boulder that gave her any trouble. With that, Melina Costanza moves up to the first place spot on the leaderboard. So barring any appeals, she will be the Team Trials Boulder champion. She did top the route in lead, but wasn't the champion. She was 3rd, so she'll be happy to walk away with that first place if she can, as Ben Hanna works his way through men's number 4. Smart little match there, trying to get a little more momentum. Oof. And he's never won one of these championship events. He's been 2nd, he's been 3rd, so if he can walk away with a win here, I feel like that's huge for him.
I agree.
Looking pretty casual going into the pocket, just needs to find the right momentum. That was way more smooth this time. It is nice because, you know, he really does just need to get to the 10, and it's not really that many moves, so even if it doesn't work out on this attempt, I think he'd have time. Yeah, it's not always the case. See if he can make something happen here. And there he goes.
Benny.
Bumping himself into first place. Let's see if he can keep it going. Beautifully done by Ben Hanna, but, you know, I think he'll try again because he will always put everything out there on the floor. That's why we love to watch Ben Hanna climb, and he's going to go for it. But barring any appeals, he has just won Team Trials in the boulder discipline, his first championship win. Super exciting.
So sick.
Great climbing from Ben Hanna. Wow, this is one of the most exciting finals I have watched in a long time.
Yeah, this was a great final. So fun.
I think I really like this staggered. Oh, and here he's just finding out from Al. Boulder 2025 Team Trials champion, Mr. Ben Hanna for the men. Barring any appeals, of course.
Yes.
And for the women, Melina Costanza does it. So that is a look at the leaderboard. Ben Hanna in 1st, Joshua Gerhardt in 2nd, Vale Everett in 3rd, Xander Waller in 4th, Hugo Hoyer in 5th, Adam Shahar in 6th, Ethan Freudenheim in 7th, and Isaac Leff in 8th. Melina Costanza in 1st, Adriana Kiko in 2nd, Nikaya Sanders in 3rd, Helen Gillette in 4th, Ella Fisher in 5th, Kyra Condi in 6th, Annalise Van Hong in 7th, and Maya Madeira in 8th. Bringing up Nikaya Sanders. Adriana Kiko Clark. And Melina Costanza in 1st for the women. And those are your 2025 National Team Trials Boulder champions. Melina Costanza in 1st, Adriana Kiko Clark in 2nd, and Nikaya Sanders in 3rd. In 3rd place, Vale Everett. Just finding the right spot on the floor. And in 2nd place, we have Joshua Gerhardt.
And first, a really snappy time. Make some noise for Ben Hanna.
And in 1st place, Ben Hanna with his first championship win. Been on this circuit for about 10 years, so that is incredible to have it happen. You know, he's psyched.
Oh, yeah.
So excited for these guys. Really great climbing today. But first, we did find out who is on those national teams for Boulder. Melina Costanza and Adriana Kiko Clark will be joining pre-selected athletes Brooke Rabitou, Natalia Grossman, and Annie Sanders for the Boulder women's team. And Ben Hanna, Vale Everett, Xander Waller will all be joining pre-selected athletes Colin Duffy and Jesse Grouper for the men's Boulder team. So really excited to see those athletes in action on the World Cup circuit.
It's time. I'm here with our victor, gold medalist and champion, Melina Costanza. First of all, great job. How does it feel to stand on top of the podium again?
It feels really good. I don't know about again. I was not on top of the podium for lead, but it feels really good. It was a super fun round. I think that the setters did a great job all comp, and I'm really appreciative.
I just meant in your life, the podium, you're no stranger to it. Not to confuse. Let's talk about the boulders a little bit. Do you have a favorite boulder from the rounds? You climbed quite well. You tend to do that, but quite strong tonight. Favorite boulders?
My favorite boulder was the slab climb. I've been working really hard on slab. It was one of my weaknesses before, and I think it's become one of my strengths, which is really cool. I love to work on my weaknesses, and I think that, I'm proud of the growth that I have in that area.
Well, that's awesome to hear. If you shore up your weaknesses, the rest of the competitors are, I think, going to be in trouble. And speaking of, you're on the national team. That's a spoiler. Melina's on the national team. Well done. You're going, the World Cup scene. Are you trying to go out there and win some medals in the World Cup? I think so. What do you have to say?
I would love to do that. We will see what happens, but I'm excited to represent my country.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Melina Costanza, one more time. And I'll cut you loose. Ben Hanna, how does it feel? You crushed.
Completely surreal. Yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years. And long time.
Boulder 4, what was that like? What's going through your mind? I mean, it's a lot on your fingers. The pressure. How intense is that moment? Because it seems intense.
I really thought I had to top it to win, and I really wanted to top it. And so, it was a lot of pressure going on. And knowing that I just needed zone was,
Well, what an amazing discovery to find out that you only needed zone, and that was enough to take the day. I'll give you the news as well. National team is in your pocket. You got it. You're on the national team. So what can we expect in the future from Ben Hanna? What you got?
a few outside prodigies and then lots of World Cups.
Nice and simple. Hey, Ben, thanks for joining again.